I don't drink coffee because it's for crackheads. But I decided to go to Starbucks, get that, what was it, cold brew or nitro brew, some shit like that. If I were to fiend off like Adderall or cocaine, I'd probably start drinking coffee, because that's what it feels like. I feel like a genuine crackhead. That Brazilian Bold will have you up for days.
Listen, that Brazilian Bold will keep you up for 3 days. That's what ISIS drinks.
I remember one time, I thought it'd be a good idea to get coffee before I go to work. And that was the worst idea, because I've never felt closer to a heart attack in my life. My heart was beating at least like 10,000 times a second. I don't know how like white girls drink this shit every day, being they weigh like 110 pounds, these skinny little white girls. Like meth? No. This, yes. Apparently, like, I don't know where you draw the line between it being okay, because I literally feel like I'm on meth now. And look at nothing's different. All because of this. That's fucking nuts. You could just not sleep for the rest of your life if you keep drinking this. That's what it feels like. That's what meth is. But honestly though, if I did do coke, I feel like coffee would be the next, like a baby step. Coffee is definitely a gateway drug to stimulants. Don't people like fake ADD to get Adderall? That's crazy. I'm not a coffee connoisseur by any means. I could give a shit. I'll drink Dunkin' Donuts and my meth will be like 80% purity. Like I'm no snob, honestly. I wish I had a hot barista to spit in my coffee. That'd be great. God damn, that was hot. I genuinely worry about people who drink coffee. Yo, I'll smoke crack before I get a coffee addiction. And crack makes you feel way better. I bet. I haven't done it. I don't know. I met a crack whore once. It was great. So I'm on Bumble because self-esteem issues, am I right? I matched with a girl. It's like 2 a.m. I get a match, and it's 2 a.m. I'm like, nice. And she says, hey, wanna hang out? And I was like, oh, okay. Her pictures weren't crazy. It wasn't, you wouldn't tell mom about it, you wouldn't call home. Let's see where this could take us. So I give her the address. She pulls up in like 5 minutes. It's so quick. I don't have time to shower, brush my dick, comb my hair, do whatever. No, none of that. Literally, the moment she gets in, does not stop talking. The first thing she does is just talk and talk and talk and talk nonstop. Like there is zero gap in between her sentences. It's just one really long sentence. And this goes on for 3 hours. It's 3 hours straight of this woman telling her life story to me. And by life story, I mean her explaining, oh fuck. And by her life story, I mean just venting about her ex-boyfriend and parents. I wanted nothing more than for her to leave. I was like, hey, you mind getting me some? That was my polite way of telling her to leave. We go down to the corner store. We walk back. And it's the main street on the Upper West Side, right? I'm like, oh, you live on, you gotta go that way. She goes, oh, okay. And I was confused. Why are you following me back to where I live? And she goes, I don't know, I was really hoping to stay with you tonight. And my Canadian ass just could not say no. I got scared, so I was polite. I didn't know how to say no because I didn't want to be mean. So I say, oh, okay, yeah, sure, that's fine. And we're walking back, and I'm rethinking my entire life at this point. I've let this woman stay after knowing her for 2 hours. She doesn't even know who I am. She doesn't know my name, my real name. She doesn't know anything about me. And so on the walk back, I'm just thinking of ways to really make an excuse to get her to leave. It's at least 5 a.m. at this point, or 4 a.m. And I can't think of shit. I'm like, fuck. So we're walking down my street, and before we get there, she goes, wait, can we stop right here? Mind you, there's rich people living all along this street. And she decides to stop on one of their stairs to their house, pulls out an entire bong, and begins to smoke weed in front of me. Knowing damn well, I don't smoke weed. I just have to sit there awkwardly while she's making these weird noises, doing all this marijuana stuff, and I couldn't do anything about it. I had to sit there and watch. And she stunk to high hell. She reeked. It smelled like skunk. I couldn't believe I was letting her back into my room, my Puritan room. my pure house with pure air, my oil diffusers, trying to combat this shit? No. I let her back in because, again, I was scared, and I thought of an idea. I thought, hey, it's gonna sound like bullshit. She's not gonna believe me, but I'm gonna tell her she has to be out by 6 because she's the opposite sex from me, and that's not allowed at my totally Christian university. So that's what I did. But before I had the chance to tell her that, she comes back into my room high as hell and begins telling me crack stories. I kid you not, she tells me about one of her ex-boyfriends and her doing crack in a motel. She lived in a motel. She dated a crack dealer, a crack user. She dated a crack user, lived in a motel, and was pretty much homeless. I just sat back and took it all in because there's no way this is happening. I've known this girl for 4 hours tops, and she's telling me about the crack she did in a motel room. I'm not the most innocent person, but I'm not doing crack in a motel with a homeless man. So I tell her, and she gets mad as fuck. She starts like, you could have told me this before. Like, really, what's fucking wrong with you? And I was hoping her like crack energy didn't come out. She didn't have like crackhead energy or crackhead strength and just tear my head off. I got lucky. She got her stuff and she left and told me she was going to go sleep at a library. And ever since that night, I have not seen her. I have not heard from her. I don't know where she is, what she's doing, where she's living. And that, kids, is why you shouldn't drink coffee. Thank you.